let's continue with our fantastic fintechs. And our next one, HelpPay, sees its mission as reshaping the national conversation around bills, from debt collection to debt prevention. How? Well, HelpPay co-founder and Chief Customer Officer Rowan Wild is here to explain. Rowan, thanks for joining us on Startup Daily. HelpPay, I suppose it does what it says on the packet, but tell us a little bit more about it.
It sure does. Look, HelpPay is a platform that's focused on making helping easier. And really our mission is to get money. The problem we're solving is to help customers, to help the people that want to help them, and businesses really get the money from where it is to where it needs to be in a guaranteed way. And I want to be very clear, despite the pay in the title, we're not a buy now, pay later service. We're a social impact facilitator. We've been described as a force for good in fintech, because all we're really trying to do is make it super, super easy when you need a bit of help on paying a bill to reach out for family and friends. They can chip in to help pay that bill and get the money exactly where it needs to be in the account at that business, so you stay on top of your bills and you don't fall behind and you don't start getting those calls.
So part of this, and we've talked about this before with the team at HelpPay, is taking that tension and embarrassment out of the situation, reflecting on the fact that also businesses generally want to do the right thing. They don't want to end up spending more money chasing debts down the track. So in terms of this solution, can you give us some examples of how it's worked?
Yeah, absolutely. So HelpPay is working with a range of organizations at the moment to basically act as another option. So you're absolutely right. Businesses do need to obviously comply with all their regulatory and legislative obligations, and they're doing a fantastic job. This is simply another option. There's a lot of customers out there who don't want to spend time on the phone reliving their trauma with someone when their call is being recorded for quality and coaching purposes. They just want to discreetly solve their own issues by, perhaps visiting a payment page on a company's website and either using it for themselves or using HelpPay to offer help to a friend or family member that they want to take care of or are already taken care of. Some of our users, you might have seen some of the headlines on news.com.au, for example. Some of the people using HelpPay have used us to escape domestic and family violence because, as they described it, it's safer than the mortgage. Other people have used HelpPay to, source funds for bills when their partner was going through recovery from an illness and an injury, but they were just unable to work. But it also seemed unfair that they should fall behind, because at the end of the day, life was going fine until it wasn't. And they had planned and, they were doing the right thing, but it was just this unfortunate moment in their life where they just needed some family and friends to rally around them and help them pay the bills. Businesses that are using us and organizations that are using HelpPay are seeing, lower inbound phone calls. They're sending fewer customers letters saying, hey, did you forget to pay the bill? And it just leads to a better relationship, because there isn't that, I don't know if you've ever called a company saying you can't pay the bill, but it's not as fantastic as companies are at handling those calls. Not many people want to have to make those calls. It is a bit of a tense and embarrassing moment. So by digitizing it, by just, reaching out to maybe the bank of mum and dad or the bank of friends that you've got to chip in to pay a bill and just, get that monkey off your back, and you can just carry on and you're back on track next month or the month after.
I must admit, I've had plenty of times where I haven't wanted to pay the bill, but ultimately coughed up. But that's a separate issue, Rowan. Now, the B2C product has helped thousands of Australians. What I'm interested in is, I think you've just launched a B2B integration API. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have. So the B2B integration API is a fantastic tool for any Australian company. There's 60,000 companies on BPay. It works right now with any company using BPay. And what we're seeing with our users today, Simon, why businesses should get excited about this, is the average customer using HelpPay doing it off their own accord. No one's forcing them to use it. They're uploading a bill on average 10 days before it's due. So these are customers that are on top of their finances. They know what's going on. They know they're going to miss the bill, and this is how they're choosing to solve it. And the people that are rallying around them, the average payment through HelpPay is over $220. So that combination of it's super easy, you know exactly where your money is going to, because it only ever goes to pay that bill directly at that company, and the combination of relationship on top of that is sort of a huge benefit for organizations. So the integration We tap into your billing system. We work out the identification factors, and essentially you can start offering HelpPay either on your bills or through my account portals or mobile apps. The customer clicks on that link and it takes them to a login. We verify their identity based on that company's protocols, and then the customer logs in. The bill's already in HelpPay. It's one click to create a link and then start sharing that with family and friends. It has never been easier to digitize a bill and get some help from family and friends to avoid paying late.
Of course, that debate over cost of living pressures has been front of mind for both politicians and Australians all over the place over the last 12 months or so, even more so now as interest rates start rising. It strikes me that you must be building a really interesting community out of this. You know you're helping someone. There's a lot of goodwill built around HelpPay. Can you give us a couple of examples? Do people come back to you afterwards and sort of say, hey, this is what happened, and the bonds that are established along the way?
What we're finding is mainly it's family and friends who've got those bonds sort of well established with the people that they're helping already, and how it makes people feel. Helping feels great. Everybody knows it. And what we're really talking about here is turning that I really want to help that person moment into a I have helped that person moment. And I feel amazing doing it. And we know from feedback from people who have helped and people who've been helped, the number one feeling is happiness, relief, and sort of loving concern for that person. But telling someone how you need to be helped is a gift. There's well-intentioned lasagnas get delivered, and that's fantastic. That is a great way to help someone. But if they don't need it, if it's the fifth lasagna and what they actually need is $20, $30, $40 paid off their electricity bill to keep the lights on or keep their mobile running so they can go get another job. There's nothing like telling someone how you need to be helped. And people who are told, hey, this is how you can help me, they're only too happy to, because they already want to help that person that they care about.
And just finally, Rowan, how is HelpPay going? Do you need me to chip in? I know you raised $2.4 million back in 2020. How are you going on your runway and capital?
Look, we're very healthy at the moment. Thank you. I mean, Simon, if you want to chip in, you're more than welcome to.
But I might want an equity stake though, so I'm not sure it's quite within the spirit of the idea.
No, fair. No, look, growth has been a straight line up. It's been fantastic. And I really, just on the cost of living thing, I think the cost of living issue is huge. It's only going to continue. And really, I want to reinforce that it's not most consumers, again, they had planned for their lives. They had thought they were doing the right thing. Various statements were made about what was going to happen in the future. People are planned. They try to do the right thing. People are trying to pay on time. People are, trying to live their best life. And, sometimes things out of everyone's control happen. And this is just about, mateship and rallying around each other. And we know that Australians help other Australians in a crisis. Growth has been phenomenal and continues to be phenomenal. We're engaging with more Australian businesses, organisations and not-for-profits every day. We've even started to gather some interest from businesses and organisations over the ditch in New Zealand and in Indonesia. The largest Muslim country in the world are our neighbours. They're a high-giving, high-care culture, and they're interested in what HelpPay does and the offering we have.
Well, we look forward to following your continued journey at HelpPay. Rowan, thanks for joining us on Startup Daily today in partnership with FinTech Australia.
Thanks very much for having me.